Hey guys, my name is Josh Smith. I am the CEO of Montana Knife Company, and I'm here today to show you how to sharpen a blade on our MKC Work Sharp backpack sharpening system here. This sharpener is something we developed with Work Sharp to take in your pack. It's meant to be lightweight, meant to be versatile in what it can do and the kind of knives that you can sharpen on it. And Work Sharp really worked with us in a really cool way to get the grit on the stone and the feel of this thing exactly how I like it. So let's get to showing you how I think you should use this in the field. All right, so the first thing, when you're out in the field and you pull this out of your pack, there's a couple different ways that you can situate this. You can try to find a flat rock or a log, something that you can set this sharpener on to give you a solid base. The other thing that you can actually do as well is you can tip it up on end and hold on to it like this, but that's really not preferable to me. You can even set this up on like your pack or something like that, and you can actually pinch it between these fingers here, like so, and hang on to it, or you can also grab it like so and have your hand flat on a rock or on a log. So I sharpen a little bit different, and this is something I think that's gonna help a lot of people. I actually do it in a way where you can really feel what you're looking for. On the edge of this knife, I'm going to be feeling for a burr, and I'm actually feeling backwards. So instead of feeling against the edge with my fingers, I'm actually running my fingers down the edge like so, in this direction here, and I'm feeling for a burr that we are going to be trying to raise with this sharpener. A lot of people ask me what angle I sharpen at. This stone here, this sharpener, is set up at 17 degrees. That's a really nice middle ground because let's face it, it may not be an MKC knife you're sharpening. You might be using any other knife. And this is a nice middle ground between that 15 and 20 degree angle. So 17 should really work well for just about anything you're going to put on this stone. You can check your angle by first placing your blade on the end of the stone or the end of the sharpener here. And then you can transfer that angle to the stone. So every now and then you might want to stop and check and be sure that you're keeping a consistent edge. All right, so now that we've set this up, we are actually going to start at the tip and we're going to work backwards on the stone, ending basically right at this angle here on the end of the stone. So I'm going to start at the tip and I'm going to push away and I'm ending at that angle. So by doing that, by going away, we're doing a couple things. One, we are not cutting into our hand or into our body. We are pushing away from ourselves. And if you are holding this in your hand like so, you can also use this stone. It's less stable, but you can use the stone just like this. And I'm pushing away and I can do it safely. If I'm cutting into the stone, I can actually come across, and if my hand is sticking up above the top of the stone, I can actually really slice myself bad. The worst thing I'm going to do here as I'm coming across is maybe go across and poke myself a little bit, but I'm not going to cut myself badly. So again, we're pushing away and we're confirming at the end that we have that right angle every time we start over. And then at a certain point, we will stop here and we will actually check the side that's facing up. We'll check that side to see if there's a burr. And that burr, we are actually forcing steel around that edge, and that burr is raising up on this side. If you have a burr all the way down the length of the edge, you know that you have actually removed enough material to move steel all the way across that edge. So now we're just going to reverse. We're going to turn it over. And here again, we'll check our angle like so. And then we will start here and we'll come to this side of the stone. I am pushing fairly hard at this point. Right now, I'm just trying to get a burst developed, and I'm pushing quite aggressively on the stone. The really nice thing with this sharpener is that it's got rubber pads here, so this thing is not wanting to slip. I can really push on that hard, and it's not wanting to slide around on this table right here. Okay, so again now, the side that's facing up, we'll confirm, do I feel a burr? And I actually do. All the way down here, I feel a burr. So now we're going to lighten pressure and we're going to alternate strokes. So I'm going to do one here. I'm going to turn it over. I can check my angle if I'm not confident. And we're going to go back and forth. And now I'm beginning to lighten my pressure. I'm probably about half the pressure I was. After a few more strokes, I'm probably 25%. And I'm gonna keep going here until I'm basically down now to the weight of the knife. I'm barely pushing on this thing. In fact, if I take my hand off of this, the stone's not even moving with how light I'm going right here. Just shows an example of the pressure. Very light. Okay, so now what we have is maybe a real slight burr left on this knife. The edge is kind of refined. We are gonna flip this over. This side has a ceramic plate on it. And as well, we have our angles. And we're gonna use this as kind of our stropping method here. So I'm gonna check my angle. I'm just gonna take a few passes on this blade on this side, and I'm just refining the size of that burr. I'm kind of aligning it. Again, I'm very, very light on the blade. All right, I'm gonna feel it. Smoking sharp. I'm actually gonna pull my arm hair out here, and let's see if Henry can get in here. I almost cut myself. That thing is smoking sharp. There's hair all over the knife. So it is nice. It's nice and sharp. It's actually very aggressive right now. In fact, right here when I started to try to shave, it actually started to cut me. So this knife is very aggressive edge. This is the edge I like for a hunting knife. This is about a 600 grit equivalent. So if you guys have a big bench stone at home and you do heavier sharpening, this is about a 600 grit side here on this diamond side. And this is a very, very fine ceramic side. You can actually use this side as more of a stropping method or like a honing rod method. So if, for example, your knife is just starting to lose a little bit of touch in the field, you could actually skip the diamond side and you could just come here and hit a few passes on that ceramic side and go right back to work. And you may not even need this diamond out in the field, especially if you're carrying a really good MKC knife. So that's how we use the WorkSharp Montana Knife Company sharpener. Again, this thing's meant to be light. It's meant to be carried in your pack. It actually has a broadhead wrench incorporated into the end of it if you need to tighten up a broadhead, or maybe take a broadhead off at camp, throw a field tip on and do a little practicing with your bow and arrow. You know, we've got these holes in this thing here to cut out some weight. This is very light. I understand backpack hunters, a lot of the kind of hunting we do out west, high mountain country hunting, you don't need a big heavy stone. But this is a substantial enough stone that about any size knife you're gonna carry, you're gonna be able to get it sharp in the field and let your knife do some serious work for you. So thanks for joining us. Again, I'm Josh Smith with Montana Knife Company, and that's how to sharpen a knife on a WorkSharp MKC sharpener.